Alright, welcome back to the shop. Today I've got the sort of nearly finished Model 20 Singer. It's missing pieces on the top that go into the threading, and right now I think I have two problems. The first problem is that without all the correct alignment pieces here for the bobbin to go on, or for the thread to spool to sit on, and it's going to sit up here somewhere, and it needs a tensioner. It also needs another. Anyway, there's 3 or 4 pieces on here that it needs that I don't have, and I know from my other modern day sewing machine that it has to be threaded just right, and if it's not threaded just right, it's never going to work correctly. So anyway, I think that this machine will remain not functional until I find a replacement, or I fabricate a replacement for this. That's the first issue. The second issue is that I think the machine, I know the machine is out of time. When I was disassembling this, I noticed that there was sort of this gear is pressed on. I don't know if you can see that. This gear down here is pressed on, and it's pressed on firmly, but it's not fixed. So I turned this a little bit, and thinking that I was turning the shaft, and anyway, instead of me turning the shaft here, what I was doing was clocking this gear slightly, which got it out of time. So I'm going to need to sit down and make sure that I have this hook, this bobbin part or whatever, I don't know what the term is. I need to make sure that it intercepts the needle at just the right time. It's rubbing a little bit, and I think that anyway, there's quite a few little fit and finish issues that I'm going to need to sort out, but I can't really sort those out without having the correct threading mechanisms on there. That's as much as I know. So anyway, that's the plate on here. This took quite a bit of work. The plate that this machine came with was just too far gone. It's so pitted. I don't know if you can hear that as much as you can see it, but those are really deep pits. I think that if I tried to sand these out, there would be nothing left. I mean, we'd be going holes all the way through this, no doubt. It probably has a couple pinholes on it already. If I was to sandblast it another time, I'm sure I'd blow through it. So anyway, what I did was just bought a piece of steel. I don't know, it was a couple 3/32 or something like that. 20 gauge, 16 gauge, something like that. I cut it on the Beverly shear, then used the drill press with the use the milling machine to use the drill press to mill these out, and I used an end mill. I'm sorry. So a very small end mill, and then I took this and sanded it down with some 800 grit paper, took it to the fiber wheel, then took it to the buffing wheel. Now it's just a plate for attracting fingerprints. But anyway, I'm pretty happy with how that turned out. I sort of rolled the edges down. This the original one had a stamped curvature on there, and I tried to replicate that to some degree, but it wasn't going to come out right. So what I ended up doing was just rolling edges, so when your fabric is sliding over, it's not catching on the corners, that it's just going to roll up on here nicely. So anyway, I think that practically that's gonna be a good fix for that, and until I find a donor machine. And to that end, I ended up getting online, looking around, seeing if I could find another donor machine, because I bought this one for very cheaply. I think, I don't know, 40 or 50 bucks or something like that. But it was in horrible shape, and the reason I got this was because my grandfather had one of these, and some asshole broke into his shop and stole it, and you know, that sucked. So anyway, I thought maybe a nice gift for my mom for Christmas would be to sort of replace it with another one, and you know what? Just screw that guy that stole this stuff. We'll just make another one, or do whatever we need to do to get another one. And I think it'll be a nice little wall hanger kind of thing. And you know what? It will be functional once I sit down and get it all timed out. But anyway, to the ends of finding another piece, a donor machine to this, I ended up finding this one online, and this one I got for pretty good. I thought it was a pretty good price, and it's got all the pieces to it. It's in pretty good shape. There is a little bit of the pitting on the platen here, and all in all, it's just got a little bit of I guess the term would be just, you know, shelf wear, and there's a little bit of rust in the front here, but I don't think this is a candidate for a full restoration. I think this is a candidate for just a cleanup. and my mom's sort of a fan of patina. I don't know, maybe I was adopted or something, but anyway, I don't like the patina so much, so I still feel compelled to come in, and I'm gonna have to. I think I want to disassemble this and at least clean these. I don't want the rust to take over, and I don't want this plate here, this sewing table, to turn out like this one in the future. We can see that it's already starting. The early stages of it starting to pit up because it's got some sort of a nickel or chrome plate on it, and I'm pretty sure that I can get this back to a nice good shine, and then put some protective coat on it like paste wax or something like that, and really sort of extend the life of this machine, and do it without changing the characteristics of it too much. Sort of the original decals, the original paint, all that other stuff. I don't know if I think I might just leave this. So anyway, I'm gonna sort of add some footage of me cleaning this up just a touch, and then bring it back when it's all done. And alright, so here's the Singer that I bought off eBay. I put new decals on it, and the decals that I got are from a guy in Lakeland that Keeler found him on eBay. Anyway, local guy out of Lakeland. The decals look real nice. I watched a really great series on sewing machine restorations by a gentleman named Wayne Schmidt. He does some just unbelievable work, just hands down some just astounding restoration work on sewing machines. And he does some gold leaf. The amount of time and effort that goes into his restorations is astounding. Anyway, he does a couple episodes on gold leaf that you know, they're really worth watching. I'll put a link in the description below to his channel. But anyway, I really enjoyed watching his stuff. It's amazing. But anyway, from the difference between gold leaf and the decals is that, you know, the real gold leaf really stands out, and it's true gold. I don't know what Singer used in the beginning originally, but anyway, these are a reasonable facsimile in my mind. So for the $5 or $10 or whatever I paid for it, I think these will work just fine. So I think they look pretty good. I think this machine cleaned up quite nicely, and it is on the verge of being usable. But this machine was pretty rough. It was just dirty. I went ahead and polished it up, wiped it down with WD-40, threaded it. It seems to sew. I don't know how to sew. With this machine, it's different than my other one. It sort of is making the stitch length. I'm not sure what's going on. I'm sure somebody will tell me, but I just seem to be making knots at the bottom. So I'll have to do some research on it, but I'm confident this machine in the right hands is either in functioning condition or very close to functioning condition. It's just a matter of having the right operator, I suppose. So anyway, I'm gonna give these to my mother for Christmas. So anyway, Mom, Merry Christmas. Sorry for the early present, but I wanted to get this out on YouTube ahead of time. But I think this is in a condition that it could function again. But, you know, the way things shook out, I got a perfectly good working machine. So this one just sort of, I think, is going to be relegated to a wall hanger, or, you know, possibly a parts machine, or, you know, maybe later on I'll find some time and I'll be able to refabricate the pieces that I need for this one. And they're not too complex or too detailed or anything like that. But should I ever buy a CNC router, this would be a great machine. Or maybe one day when I'm getting some parts water jetted out, I can tag these onto the plans or something. But anyway, this has been a fun restoration project. I think that this one really looks good. I think it's going to function fine. It cleaned up really nicely, and it'll be a workable model. This one, sort of a wall hanger, it's quite a bit different than it looks, quite a bit better now than it did when I got it. So anyway, go watch, go to the link below and go look at the gold leaf stuff in the sewing machine restorations I talked about. Super interesting stuff. These are tools just like anything else. So I think, anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Have a good day.